Good morning. It's Juicy Jones HQ. It's VapeAM. Today we're looking at the OBS Engine 2. Is this thing still leak-proof? Let's find out. Stick around, and I'm going to review this thing for you. It's VapeAM. We're looking at the OBS Engine 2. It was one of our favorites before, and we're going to check it out and see if it still leaks today. Good morning, everybody. This is Eli Juicy Jones. You are tuned into Orbital Vaping Headquarters. I want to say good morning to everybody who's tuned into this. The show is called VapeAM. We're here every Wednesday and Saturday. And we do reviews, and we do tutorials, and we help people quit smoking, and we understand the science and technology of vaping, and we build a community. So hi, all y'all. If you're tuning in live, I want to thank you for tuning in. And JT Munn, morning fuckers. Good morning to you. Aaron Champion, Scottish Evil Monkey, Hey Stewart, Ford, Old Vape Gary. Ed, Jameson, everyone. Good morning to all y'all. Michaela will be here in just a few minutes, and I hope you're having a great morning. I've got just a few things to say. Happy Donkey Kong Day. This is happy anniversary Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong came out today in, I guess, 1981 or 84. I can't remember, but this is the anniversary. It's been like 40 years. That's cool. Also, today, I guess this week was World No Tobacco Day, so congratulations to everyone too. Congratulations to us. Happy for everyone who's quitting smoking, and I'm happy for us. I haven't smoked a cigarette in probably 7, 8, 9 years. I don't remember when the last time I smoked a cigarette was. But there you go. If you haven't seen our silicone warning video, make sure that you check out the last episode of VapeAM. We talked about silicone in our vape gear, and I, in fact, am vaping right now on my Aspire feedlink kit because I corresponded with Aspire, and we did a test on this, and it turns out that yes, this is pure silicone inside here. No additives, no fillers, no nothing. And so I asked those guys, this is pure silicone. That's cool. I'm going to put a new battery in this thing while we're sitting here all together. I've got one in here. I'm going to grab another battery from my kitty. What'd I do with them, y'all? Hey, what'd I do with my batteries, y'all? They'd be sitting right here. There they are. The little guy right in there. So check out the episode of VapeAM about silicone and the dangers of silicone. And we just don't know everything yet, but we do know that manufacturers like Vandy Vape and some others are putting additives in their silicone, and so it's not safe. We don't know anything about the emissions of those things. We need testing. So also we're going to be at West Coast Vape Expo right here, July 7th and 8th and 9th. So come on out to Seattle, visit us. It's just a short ferry ride from here. Meet me. We'll go over there together. We're going to be there for 2 days, 8th and 9th. It's going to be so fun. July. Come all. You're welcome. Make sure you DM me if you're coming and let me know. Pledge drive. Oh, that's what I was going to say, is that if you have the ability to do so, please consider making a pledge through the Super Chat system or by PayPal to juicyjones@gmail.com. The reason I ask that is that all of the operations of this channel happen because of the good grace and wishes of you guys who donate money for us to buy equipment and cotton and all kinds of other things for us to review and juice. So thank you for everyone who does donate and who did, including everyone who donated last week, which is really great. Thanks so much. And that's the end of the pledge drive. Today, it is all about the OBS Engine 2. We love the Engine 1. I want to say thanks to Heaven Gifts for sending this thing. They sent a cool hat. And just so you guys know, I don't wear baseball caps, so they look dumb with a big beard. I think that just looks really stupid. But the hat's really cool. And thank you to Heaven Gifts. You guys are cool. They sent this guy for us to review. If you guys remember, we're going to look at this thing today. We're going to build it. I'm going to compare it to the OBS Engine 1, which I have sitting right here. And we're going to do this all together, all of us. Let's say good morning, Jason Kennedy, Dude Mang Brozovic. Hey, Lalsa. It's great to see you. 2 days quitted smoking and went back, quit just briefly. It's okay. By the way, I just want to tell you guys that when you're quitting, it's okay to quit. It's okay to cheat a little. The whole point behind quitting smoking is not to never, ever smoke another cigarette. I mean, that's the goal. But it's an addiction and it's terrible and the cigarettes are tough. So if you smoke a cigarette here and there, maybe just to try it, or because you're having a weak moment or your gear's broken, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to cheat a little bit because the goal is not to be a smoker down the road. It isn't to never, ever, ever not smoke ever again because you smoked enough already to do that damage. Now you got to mitigate the harm. It's about harm reduction. So good for you. Looks like JT Munn gave a squonker away. Michaela says hi. Her BK2's coming. That's cool. So I'm a huge fan of the OBS Engine 2. I'm a big OBS fan. This was one of my favorite RTAs of last year. Last year, my favorites were the Cledo 120 and the OBS Engine 2 and the Smock TFE8 and TFE12 in that order. And right now, I'm just going to have a vape. Hi, Chris Juarez. Month says he was a dual user for 2 years before he quit completely, and it just, whatever pace it takes. Y'all remember, we're not here to judge. What we're here to do is help people quit smoking. So you'll notice we have all the tools. I have the old coils that I was using in this thing just until yesterday. Today I'm featuring Van Gogh Vape's Coffee Shop Caramel Macchiato. Let me tell you guys something. This Coffee Shop Caramel Macchiato is so absolutely insanely good. Can I get an autofocus on that, Logitech? Logitech, can you do me a solid, buddy? Thanks, buddy. The Caramel Macchiato Coffee Shop. This stuff is absolutely insanely good. It's so delicious. I absolutely love it. So we're going to use this stuff today. This stuff is like a blast of coffee and a little bit of caramel sweetness. You could be forgiven if you thought it tasted a little chocolatey, but to me it's a little bit caramelly. Sweet caramel, light espresso, brightened with milky latte notes, finished with a drizzle of sweet caramel. This is so amazing. Oh, so amazing. You guys are love this. So I'm going to be vaping on that today. And let's open this thing up all together. As you guys remember, the OBS folks have nice packaging. They do a good job. There's going to be a little box here, a little drawer, and there's our engine, and there is our accessory box with our silica. The accessory box has got all the stuff that we need in it, so we don't have to worry too much. Let me just see if I can get my focus up here. And we'll open up this box. The accessory box has a little manual, which I'll take out first, because we may need to refer to it. It says, warning, how to take it off, how to build the coils, how to insert the cotton, how to enjoy vaping. This is a very simple build. It's 26 millimeters in diameter, 56 millimeters high, weighs 55 grams. Those are the instructions in French, so not too much to that. A warning about using atomizers in general, that when you lose flavor, you need to make sure you refill it. Here's some cotton, a little blue screwdriver, LBS, and some replacement O-rings and coils. We're going to use these coils. Why not? I like to always use the coils that are in the bag when I can, just so that you guys can see what they're intending. It's what they send. They used to send coils that were garbage. All the manufacturers, you'd never want to vape anything they sent. But these days, a bit different. Sometimes they can be okay. And in this case, I'll show you the ones that I had on there before. These are Jason Coil and Tin, Canthal, and these are Burley. They're like 0.06 or 0.05 that I had in there. All right, manual, warning card, cotton, screwdriver, and O-rings. Go back in the box. Notice that they also include an extra glass, which is a nice touch. Thank you so much, OBS. I think if you don't include an extra glass, you pretty much have no class. That's just how it is. If you don't include extra glass, you're kind of a jerk because people break glass. There it is. Now remember what I've always told you guys. If you see moisture on your atomizer when you pull it out, make sure that you return it. Mine have moisture because we have been to the ultrasonic cleaner and back. And it's not because of any other reason. So you'll notice that they have a sort of like custom colored 810 drip tip on all of these now. The top is an 810, or the top is a 510, just like it used to be, with O-rings around the drip tip. People don't actually super prefer that, but if you have to use an O-ring, or if it's fine, it's just not my favorite. I really wish we could switch to O-rings on the inside, but I get why they do this, just to make the machining and polishing simple. These things work okay, and other O-rings fit intermittently. I got to tell you guys that all O-rings fit intermittently in these things. The ones that don't have O-rings on the inside, I mean drip tips. The drip tips fit intermittently, but I like the way this looks. The flavor is okay with this. This has an airflow ring on top, just like the old OBS engine did. And you'll notice that, like the Revo, it's a triple. So it's 3 symmetrical airflow. So that is a lot of air, guys. A lot of air. It refills in the middle here now, and we still have this little dot with the OBS logo. And the old one was the same way, except it was a little bit tougher to see. But where the design changes is right here. Now you'll notice that the old one had O-rings on top and bottom of the glass and a little stainless steel or aluminum, I'm not sure, frame inside for strength. For this new one, they've done a great job. They've eliminated the O-rings on top and bottom and put side O-rings on there. Let's take this apart. The first thing you'll notice when you pop this thing apart is that it has almost a spring to it. I'll just get it. Yeah, see that? And it's because they have this funky shaped device on the inside. It goes over the juice flow here to provide abbreviated juice flow in that channel. And on the right, there's a stop that grabs this. So when you put these together, remember, just take the tab and line it up there, wiggle a little, and you're done. You don't have to do anything besides that. As long as you get that tab in there, it'll spring right out. And it resists coming out a little bit. So this is a cool design. It's like pretty foolproof. Once we get her in there. The threading is adequate, not amazing. There is our tall deck. First, let's take a look at this glass in the chamber. This is just like the old one, except that they've included a new, like I said, instead of having O-rings at the top, like they did with the old one, the top and the bottom underneath with a steel thing inside for strength, they've just eschewed this whole thing, thank goodness, and let all the e-liquid just drip to the bottom. So the functionality here is much better than the old one. The wicking doesn't get caught on any stainless steel things on the way down. This has got a small chamfer in the bottom that leads us down into these juice holes right here. Juice only goes into this thing from the sides right there. And if you look, you'll see that that little chamfer leads to those holes, and you roll this around inside there, and the juice comes out of the stainless steel sides into the side of this hole. And so there's a minimal reservoir on the outside, but largish ones on the inside. And you see how they've taken these, and these are just straight reservoirs. These go down to the bottom. You notice that? So these are actually separated. The juice comes in here, goes out and flows down through here, and it also comes in through the bottom. So we're going to see some inflow here, some inflow here, and your wicking just goes down into these channels. You just got to touch the bottom and fill up those holes. You'll notice that the new posts are vertical up top here, which may seem a little strange at first. Let me adjust the focus so it's even a little closer. Where are we at there, guys? Yeah. So the posts are up top, and they have Phillips head screws in them. It's extremely easy to build. You're limited to the width a little bit, but you don't want to go past about halfway in the juice flow holes anyway. So just about halfway where the posts are is about where you want your coils to stop anyway, so you have room for the cotton. So that width limitation isn't too bad. They could reduce a little bit of the mass here. I questioned a little bit the strength of this positive post, because you'll notice when I pull on it, it can, I'll just put this on a mod. Got this on the Home Record G2. You'll notice that when I take a screwdriver onto this positive post, because it's tall, torsional pressures can make that thing bend a little bit. So I question the long-term durability of that. I'm not sure. Maybe they should reinforce the bottom a little bit. I have had no problems with this. I'm only just sort of thinking ahead to what might be. When I have been building this, every time I did it, I've noticed that there's just a little bit of a lean to that. And I just think, over a year, that might be a problem, or it might not. I don't know. For now, no problem. Just a heads up. But so you guys can see how this new raised deck, you just put the coils in there and chop them. And so it's actually quite efficient. I'm going to widen these out to the largest point, because I like to have lots. You definitely want to put flat coils and wires in here, twist wires, but you'll notice that these aren't quite flat. They actually have just a tiny flange here. they come out just a tiny bit there and a tiny bit there. And it's nice. It's sort of a little bit of a trap for the wire. So that's cool. It's mostly flat on that side. So the design's good. Love this deck. It's maybe not, I'm not sure I like it 100 million times better than the old deck, but I do like it. Let me show you the old deck. Just unscrew this guy. And the old deck was a Velocity. There's the old one. There's the new one. A little fuzz on there. Took the cotton out, put it in the ultrasonic this morning just to show you guys. I've got like a cat track in there right now. It's crazy. The old deck was just a straight velocity, and the new one is a straight velocity where they just go up instead of to the sides. So it's got a little bit more aerodynamic resistance at the top, but the same on the sides. The juice flow is coming up differently. We have juice coming in the sides and through the bottom in this case, so it's increased juice flow. We ought to be able to put pretty burly stuff in here. And like I said, I put these two, these came out to 0.05, crazy fat double core aliens. And they were just fine in this thing. Vaped them about 85 to 95 watts. And so let's get a build on this all together. I'm going to try to put this on something a little taller. Oh, actually what I'll do is get the Easy Watt stand again. Little neck down there. I want to get the focus all the way down there so you guys can see. So I'll actually move the camera. Easy. Or if that seems a little bit weird. There we go. There it is. So this thing is pretty cool. We are real close to the camera down there, so. You see what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these coils. Oh, just so you know, obviously, the coils that go in here are going to go in this way. So you want the coils themselves to sit over this airflow. I keep saying that this is juice flow, but this is airflow, guys. I'm so sorry. The airflow comes down from the top of the atomizer into here from the top. I don't know why I keep saying that. Those are the top airflow, comes from the sides, goes in those little holes right there, and the air comes out here. Oops. And we put our little coils in sideways so that the juice flow comes in from the bottom and the air comes in from the top. I have no idea why I was saying that. That's so funny. Hey, it's morning time. It's VapeAM. Not sure what time we got started here. But as you can see here, just sort of fitting that in there. I could easily put another whole wrap in that. I'm not going to do that this time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up, grab the little screwdriver, and I'm going to screw down one side of that. So you see, it's interesting to have a deck that's a little bit different. It's fun. So I'm putting it in there a little bit diagonally. Grab the two things. Make sure it's sideways. Put your two leads. Oops. Put your two leads here into the posts. Looks like I'm having a little bit of trouble with that one on the outside, on your side, because the camera's in the way, to be quite honest. Funny. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this side over here on the outside. These are the coils that came with it from Watofo. They look to be single or dual core Claptons. I'm going to tighten that one all by itself. And that's all. That's all I'm going to do on that thing for right now. We're going to get this one in here. And I see now that if you're doing this, what you want is to put bends in there so that they're even on the sides. So for those of you who are building all the time, you know. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. We're real low down there. So I have to put a little bend in that thing. I should have done that first. So we'll just pop it out. Take a look at this. We're just going to make sure that bends up. These are real soft coils. They really do not take much. There we go. The coils I got from Jason Coil and Tin were already all bent up like this, which is really cool. So, easy peasy. grab your coil, shove it up on the top, make sure it's bitten by the screw, which I have not made sure of. And then grab it on the other side. Super easy. Although if it's so easy, why am I making it look so hard? For those of you who don't know, I practice these things many times before we do the show, and it's so funny because like last night, I was sitting here, I've had this for about a while, and I've been using it, and so last night before the show, I always like go in and I just start practicing. I'll like build and build and build. I'll probably do 2 or 3 builds on it before the show, just to make sure I refine my technique and know what I'm doing. So you see what I've got there? I've got the air over, I've got the coil over the air hole, right there. And I'm actually going to lower it just a tiny bit, just because I want that to be right over the air. One potential problem with these is that it feels like you have a limited amount of space inside there for coils, and it's due, but you must make sure that your coil isn't touching this or that. And so with this top post setup, you have a slightly larger chance of your coil itself running into stuff down here. But if you observe the 3.5 millimeter inside diameter, don't go over that. I mean, you could try 4, but I wouldn't do it. Or I don't know if you could do it. If you do 4 and you get good results, then just let me know. That's cool. But that's really nice. It's got like a little curved airflow. I'm just pulling down on that to make sure that we have pretty even distance between the airflow pieces there. And then that's going to go right into these juice flow holes right here. And we're going to grab the other side, put the other coil in it. It's funny how, look, this one is actually pre-bent. So they've actually bent this one, but they didn't bend the first one. And so the result will be that you'll notice this one will go in much easier. Hopefully. Hey, knock on wood. Oops. All I do is use my finger to try to push that around that screw. You just squeeze these 2 things in there, really. Just pinch it and get it in. There you go. Just pinch them and get them in there. So I've got that thing right there. I'm going to hold it with my finger, transfer the tool to the other side, knock everything on my desk over, and then I've got that where I had the other one. I'm going to lower it down just a little bit, just because that's where I want it. Oops. Yep, pretty good. And you see how that top post is moving a little bit? See, that's what I meant is I'm not 100% stoked about that. Now we'll move this other one in here, just with our finger. Get over there, tighten it down, and then take a look at them. So they look pretty even. I'm pulling on this one that we just put in because it's still a little bit loose. I'm pulling and stretching a tiny bit, and I'm pretty happy with that setup. I'm pulling this out a little bit, and I'm going to tighten the crap out of them. See how the positive post turns and moves when I turn it? That over there doesn't look perfectly seated. I'm going to use my fingernail, force that, hold it, and then screw. Because the threads are actually going, they're grabbing the clapton there. There we go, all good. So, straighten face, super easy. See, we got our coils in there, and then watch this. All we do is chop these off the top. It's so cool. It really requires very little effort. It looks like I've got that one a little bit too cinched up. I'm going to loosen it down just a little bit. Didn't want quite that much in there. It moved a tiny bit when I tightened it. All right, I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. You'll notice they come down from the post. The air comes up there. We're going to put the wicking right through there. To trim these, it's super easy. Just put your finger on it. trim them on the top. This is really, really nice. I love this build. See how easy that is? Just right on the top. And you don't have to worry about clearances or anything except for on the side. Love these things. I'm going on the side here just to get the extra off, even though it's not necessary. So yeah, how cool is that? Pretty good. Now let's fire this, see what our reading is on it. Okay. That's a 0.17. That's a pretty good read. Not bad. I'm going to go down to maybe 48 watts and just give it a few pulses. These are the coils that came straight from OBS themselves. Getting a little color. Pretty nice. Yeah, turning blue. Tighten these up a little bit. You guys will like the wicking method here. It's pretty easy. Measure, chop. Measure, chop. Yep. Pretty good. A little bit uneven. So it looks like I'm going to need to grab that little guy right there. Push it up so it's just a little bit different. Ooh, that's hot. I touched it. Okay. Just reposition that guy just a little tiny bit. I touched it and it was really hot. It hurt my hand. They look pretty good. Maybe that went a little too far. There we go. I think we're golden. What do you guys think? So that's that. All we gotta need now is put some cotton bacon in there. Or I'm sorry, some Texas Tough in there. I don't know why I say cotton bacon. Texas Tough is our preferred wicking here. I never use cotton bacon. Maybe that's why. I was gonna tell you guys, we don't use that stuff. We use Texas Tough Quick Wicks. It's my favorite. It does the best. It works the best in RTAs, that's for damn sure, and RTAs. This is by far my favorite cotton. It's absorbent. It has great transfer properties. Got amazing retention. Doesn't get old or burnt. Doesn't taste funny. Yep. These are just 2.5 millimeter coils, so we don't need tons of interior diameter here, just enough to fill that thing up. And I'm thinking I'm overdoing it just a little bit here. So watch me just take a couple of strands off. 2.5 millimeters is a little narrower than what I usually do. Yeah, these are the coils that came with it. And you know, I think that's actually not quite enough. I took a little too much off. I'm going to put that back on. Try again. Yeah, I like that better. You want to make sure that you fill up the inside diameter of any RTA. This thing wicks just like every other RTA you've ever used that has a bell inside, cap, dome, and wicking holes. There's only a few styles of RTA, and this is one of them. This has the quad individual chambers at the bottom. Well, I know it looks a little messy, but it's not going to be. Thing doesn't leak, and so is more likely to get a dry hit out of it. You can make it leak, but it's extremely hard. We're going to take this guy. Move the focus up. Stuff the cotton in there for you. Start right there. pull it back. This only has to go down to the bottom of the deck down there, and you want it to be straight. And just touch the bottom of the deck. You don't need lots and lots and lots of cotton, but it won't hurt if there's a little extra. So do it a little bit short and then kind of pinch it down in there and push it so that you're filling up that space. Fluff it up so that it's a good puffy cork for all that e-liquid coming in. And make sure that you've just filled up this space. Remember, make sure that you have filled up the space where the juice comes in. Not thick, not dense, not packed, but it has to be full. I'm going to go to the other side, do the exact same thing. I'm starting with my flat dental tool just because for me it's slightly easier here, but you can use anything you need to. And I'm pressing that down inside there so that the ends are poking down. Now, take my tweezers and I pull a little through, and then I do a little bit more stuffing with my round tool, which this lets my tool get in there and then come back out without pulling cotton out with it too bad. So see, look, we have good stuff. It goes down to the bottom of the deck down there. I can just sort of barely see cotton. And we're doing all right. On length on this side, I feel pretty good. A little bit long. Not going to matter too much. As long as we don't put too much in there. Don't stuff these full of cotton, but don't understuff them either. I know that sounds like crappy instructions, but the trick is you got to practice these things. See what's going on. We're doing pretty well. Looks like I cut these about right. Probably 4 millimeters of cotton sticking out there. 5 or 6 maybe. And I'm just poking the backs in first and putting the ends down. Making sure the ends poking down. And then I'm going to clean that up a little bit here in 1 second. Get a little bit of that pulled through, which is fine. Looks like we have pretty good separation here. Pretty good coverage. All right, back to the round tool. I like it. I feel good about it. What do you guys think? This is so easy. So you see what we've got here. We've got that stuck in there. You got to just keep it inside. Air is going to come in through right there, right to the coils, and juice is going to come in from the bottom. Dude says he thinks this looks complicated, but I don't quite get that. I mean, some people say that just because I take a lot of time. I hear that a lot when I just take a lot of time and explain everything. People think maybe it looks complicated, but this is exactly like a velocity RTA. It's really no different. The original one was precisely the same. It's one of the best RTAs in the market. Look, you have to stuff the cotton down those holes. In fact, this is quite a bit easier because now, before you had to stuff them into here and get them all to like stick in there, and the air came in from the top of the coil. And on this new deck, it's actually quite a bit easier just to get those in there and chop it. So, you may be right. I don't think so. I think it's quite easy. There we go. So that's that. Gonna give it just a little bit of a test fire. I don't know that I'll talk about what I think about this deck here in a minute. My conclusions. My conclusions. Okay, there we go. Oh, this e-liquid smells so good. Now we take the glass. Remember, always put the glass on, and then look at these tabs. See that tab? There's an out one and an in one. Take the out one and line it up with the bottom of the post, and then you're done. You just screw in. It's really simple. I haven't had missed threads or problems. I do have a hair inside there that I don't want. Do you guys see that? I don't want a beard hair inside my vape. Lol. I say no to that. And your glass has to be on, obviously. Finding the tab. There it is. Screws right on. That's really good. They normally don't do such a good job. To fill it up, you just fill up to this hole. And remember, for RTAs, when you're first filling them up, always fill up RTAs just enough to cover the bottom wicking hole. So in this case, you want it to fill just to the bottom line there. Gonna put in a few more mils just over the bottom line. Yeah, see, so we're not full. That way you don't waste e-liquid. Let's go top and vape on this, and I will tell you guys what I think. There it is. 11948. We're going to vape just about 75 watts. Hi, if you're just tuning in, I'm Eli Juicy Jones, and this is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. We're here live 2 times a week, 8 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time, on YouTube. So this is a vape show. We help people quit smoking. We understand the technology of vaping and how to apply it and how to understand it and how not to be taken advantage of. And we have built a community here. So thanks to everybody who's here live. If you're watching on the replay, I thank you too. You're welcome here as well. All right, so here we go. Open the air. Come on, Juicy. Yum! Wow! It's good. It's real good. I think it's a little bit better than the Engine 1. That's good. That's a good thing. I mean, it's either equal to or all right, or a little bit better or a little bit worse than the Engine 1, depending on what mood I'm in at the moment. I think overall that this new deck is probably unnecessary, judging by just the changes made. A regular velocity deck would be fine. But the truth is, it's real easy to trim the coils. It's easy to put them in there. For the kinds of builds I make that are 3.5, maybe 4, but 3.5, 3 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters, Claptons that are wide and small, this works so great and never leaks. This does not leak. It cannot leak. There's no way for this to leak that I know of. It would have to be pretty heinous for this thing to get liquid up through this thing and out into this manifold and then out the top. So far, this thing hasn't leaked a drop. It works great. Like I said, I'm vaping about 80 watts on this thing at a 0.17. I was vaping a 0.05 in this thing at about 95 watts, 80 to 95 watts with the air here and there. It was really good. Flavor's good. The price is not bad on these things. I am a big OBS fan, and so I am just saying that if you're into it, get this. If you want an RTA that works pretty well, I like this. The size is shrunk down just a tiny, tiny bit. And the flavor on these is good. They have big airflow, not quite a Revo. I think people who like the Goon 1.5 and the Revo and the TFE 12, they're going to think this is about 90% of the airflow that thing has. So just gauge for yourself. Anybody else, of course, you can turn this down. So this thing is pretty good. It's for super sub-ohm vaping and or sub-ohm vaping. It's not mouth to lung, but this thing's good. I like the OBS Engine. I like the OBS Engine 2 as well. So thanks to Heaven Gifts for sending this. We're going to go into the last half of the program now, which is our live hangout session. So if you're watching this on the replay, thanks so much. Make sure you click like and subscribe down there. And feel free to watch the end of this. There may be more with chat, and I might have cut it off. I don't know. But if you watch us live, you can always interact with us live. You can always come out and say hi. And we are going to sign out here and then do a live chat. So thanks, everyone. I'm Eli Juicy Jones. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. Thanks again to Heaven Gifts for sending this thing. This has been a look at the OBS Engine 2. It's my review. I say buy one. There'll be a link in the description for you guys, for you to get one for yourself. And I just really appreciate you watching this show. And join us at West Coast Vape Expo. Thank you so much. Thanks. Don't go anywhere. Hey, y'all. It's great to see you. Thank you so much. What do you guys think about the Engine 2? I was a big fan of the Engine 1. It's good. It's easy to build. Don't know what they cost. I'll figure it out for you guys. Heaven Gifts price on this is what is it? Member. Okay. Tell me, how are all y'all? Let's hear it. The Jameson can't vape at 22 watts. Yeah, you can vape. I mean, even I on my singles am vaping at 40, 45. So that's just my personal taste. I like to be a little bit warmer. But having said that, if you move out of Claptons and back into single wire, you might be surprised again pleasantly, because single wire bills 14 gauge, 7, 8 wrap, space. You know, it's about 1.0, 1.1, something like that. I think JT Munn can correct me, but that's great flavor, and you can get a pretty warm vape out of that. I have the Anakin Aries sitting here, right here, with a vape very much like that. I don't know why that's not working. But I recommend the Aries hardcore. Come on, focus. Come on, focus. Okay, so let's see what's up with the Engine 2, what it costs. OBS Engine 2. Engine 2 RTA. Yeah, there it is. $36.90, but it's not your final cost. Let's see. $36.90 times. So $31.36 is your price with my discount. Make sure you use Juicy Jones HQ discount code. And there's the deep link. There's the deep link, my friends. So OBS Engine. Heaven Gifts. And let me get that description in there for you. I'll just put that in the description for y'all. Use code JuicyJonesHQ because you get a discount there, y'all, at Heaven Gifts. Here's at Heaven Gifts. All right. All right. Hey, Esteban. Hey, Josh Weist. Does it come in gold, as I'm being asked here? And I'm not sure. You can check the thing. I think it comes in black and stainless steel. The old one came in gold, so they'll certainly come out with a gold one here pretty soon. Praetorian, how did I scare you, buddy? He said I scared him. Dude Mank's asking if there's bubble glass. No, there's not. It's just a 5mm glass by itself in the US edition. That's a good question. That would be a pretty big bubble glass in this case. Hey, what did I do with it? I put it down. Ah, there it is. So what did we come out to? We came out to 0.16. That means that I am free to move this to different atomizers because it's not going to be so low. I'm going to try this here on my... Let's see how this does in a single, actually. I don't really think it'll do very well, but we'll sure check it out. Put a battery in there. I was almost dead. Oh, dead battery. What do I have, dead batteries on my desk instead of charged ones? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you, Juicy? In fact, forget this. Where's my... Look at these. 21 Ts, just charged. These are Samsung 31 Ts. Oh, Dude Bang says I screamed yum on the first rip on that thing. That's funny. I sure did. It was yummy. There we go. 90 watts. Let's see how that works. I have no idea. Works great. So that's working great with the 21700. Oh, love these amp limits. A little bit too much at 90 watts there. I'm going back down to 82. Yum. It's good. We have bubbles. Bubbles are good. Bubbles mean it's working. Oh, yeah. Mm. I'm a terrible O blower. DT Munn says he hasn't had any 21700 batteries yet. 2700 batteries yet. One of these days. One of these days they'll be ubiquitous. I posted on Twitter a little thing the other day that was an exciting hint. I was reading Tesla's material safety report that they had to issue this week, and on their material safety report, they were talking about the capacity of their batteries and the number of batteries they're about to start producing. It was pretty cool. They just hinted at it, and it's going to be, they have the highest performing batteries in class right now. So these mile limits are going to be absolutely amazing. As far as the way you vape, JT Mon, it isn't really necessary. Since you vape at 20 watts or whatever most of the time, mount along, the demands that you're making on your batteries are so slim that it's really not a super huge deal. You will, when you get to 2700 batteries, you will see longer battery life and, you know, better performance. And for you, I would think you'd mainly see not a huge increase, but you would see very good increases in probably the life of your batteries. Probably just the life of the batteries will last a lot longer, because you can charge them at 2 amps for life, and they just will physically last longer, a couple of 3 years probably, the same as you got them almost. So that's cool. Dude Mang says he has a single 2700, got lots of 21700s. And also, you know, I caution you guys against not doing something until the best battery's available. That's really folly. I mean, the difference between the 30T and the 40T is nothing except for the mAh. And so all you're getting is a battery with longer battery life, and you're already getting a battery with such a stupendous battery life, then it's just gravy on top. It's not at all a reason to wait. In fact, like I've been saying for 18 months, don't wait. Don't wait one instant. Don't wait for that perfect battery that Mooch is reviewing to be available. Don't wait for the Sanyos. Buy these in the kits with the batteries, and then buy the batteries as you go, and just enjoy better battery life. Waiting is only going to delay the pleasure of knowing how amazing these things are. 2700s are so much better than 18650s that the difference, let me tell you guys, you don't want to believe this, but here's the truth. The difference between 21700s and 21700s is not even close to the difference between 2700s and 18650s. So if you upgrade, great. Waiting for like the best, there's no point, because the crappy 2700s, and I'm not talking about the 15 amp ones, the crappy 30 amp iJoy batteries are better than all the 18650s pretty much that you can buy. So you're doing better as a numbers game. And Dude Ming says they're in stock. Yeah, I know the 40Ts are in stock. That's no secret. Everyone knows that. But all I'm saying is there's no reason to wait. So if you waited, there was no reason to. If you are excited, great. That's all good too. But you didn't gain anything by waiting. Not a thing. What I'm trying to do is get everybody to get on the 2700 and 21700 bandwagon. But I understand, of course, that people have to buy chargers and more batteries and that kind of stuff. That's why I say use the charger you've got. You can squeeze a 2700 into it and buy the kits with the batteries at first, and then you can start buying all the junk later on. Pretty much. And the prices will come down too. So what else are you guys up to? What's going on? There hasn't been any real news with the 20 and 21700 batteries, except for Samsung came out with the 40T, but that's not even big news. It's just a minor update to their battery. The big news will be in 2 years. And well, over the course of the next 2 years, we're going to see the Gigafactory and the German factory and the LG factory and the Sanyo factory. Samsung factory, all those are going to open up, and they're going to start dumping batteries into Volkswagens and Teslas and Chryslers and Fords and all these Volvos and Mercedes. And we're going to see a glut of these batteries. It's going to be really great. It's going to be super cool. Esteban Murillo says that his Nightcore isn't expensive and it works too. And yeah, I got my X-Tar one. Mikhail's asking if we heard about the bottles. Yeah, I said that I heard from Aspire and that I'm vaping on my Aspire, because they said this is silicone, just like I suspected on the thing. So that's why we're using this thing. These are really great. Yeah, the difference between the 30Ts and the 40Ts are great. The only people who are going to notice the 40Ts really are people, well, everyone will actually, because the 40Ts are the same. They're 35 amp batteries. what's nice about it is that they have almost 4,000 mAh, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see these things come, especially the 21 millimeter ones. We're going to see them come out with more and more mAh. Theoretically, they should be getting 7 to 9K mAh out of these, so we can still get to 5, right? I mean, that's amazing. Imagine this Geek Vape blade. This thing, when I put 2 of these 3,800 mAh batteries in here, this is almost 5,000 mAh. Or I'm sorry, it's almost 6,000 mAh on this thing. Like, this thing lasts an insane amount of time. Really a remarkably long amount of time. It's absolutely crazy. And those 40Ts are a little bit better. They're about 20% better, so that's even better. So, God, it's just like battery life is going off the chart these days. You can't even see that because it's flickering, can you? You can vape on this all day with 85 watts. It's pretty fun. Michaela's asking if I heard from anyone else. No, of course not. I mean, nobody that's not using pure silica would say anything. And in fact, no vape companies ever respond to anything. So it would be an incredibly strange thing if I heard anything from any of them about something wrong. They just ignore everything, basically. And they have their sort of like meetings where they probably talk about what the truth is, but they never trust me with any kind of actual inside information. I think the only reason Aspire did is because actually Aspire is just a better outfit. I asked her, she asked the engineers, they got back to me. It's all silicon. So love Aspire. Like they have their stuff together. Vandy Vape isn't about to say anything about it. I'd like to know. JT Monk, don't get 26 millimeter batteries. They are sucky. 26 millimeter batteries are garbage. 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 Do not buy those. Don't recommend them. They suck so badly. So badly. Never. Don't get those. 26 millimeter batteries are fundamentally physically flawed. They don't vent heat from the middle, and so for little, like for you, JT, for mouth to lung uses, yeah, but no one else can use those. They're garbage, unfortunately. Yeah, I can read that. Any 26 millimeter. So 26, anything. Don't buy 26, anything. Because 26 millimeter batteries are too wide. Diameter too high. Talk about this quite a bit in the channel. In fact, we talked about this the other day. This is too much distance to ride to effectively dissipate heat out of the middle. I don't care how long it is. It just doesn't work. There's no length, no kind, no nothing, no 26 millimeter battery that's any good. They all operate within tolerances, and so they might work for a certain application. That's certainly great. But like a crappy low amp battery for getting long battery life, it's probably fine for, like I said, from out to lung. But they're absolutely useless for any kind of long-term high amp, high mAh usages. And that's not my opinion, by the way. This is not me just not liking them. You guys go look at the science. Don't trust me. Go find out. 26 millimeter batteries are shit. So that's what the science says. And don't look at vaping. Do not look at vaping. Vapers do not know anything about electrical engineering and everything. They're all amateurs. Look at people who make batteries. And then they will, this is where I get my information. I get my information from battery manufacturers and battery scientists, science blogs, engineering blogs, energy density blogs, and green energy blogs. That's reminder, and a little bit from Mooch. So my information comes from those sources. You guys, your mileage may vary, but I'm certainly not just making this up. The science is, it's like I've been saying all this time, the 26 millimeter batteries are bad science. They tried for years and years and years, and it's over. 21 millimeter batteries are the shit, and they're amazing. They're really great. And JT Mung, you can't have better 18650 batteries. They've had 35 years, and that's it. So that's over. There are no better 18650 batteries. I mean, we're going to see marginal gains, but in the process of perfecting battery technology, humans are moving to 21 millimeter, and then soon, who knows, we may have radically different batteries in 10 years or 20 years. For now, for the next 30 years, these batteries are going to be your staple power tool, drivetrain, car, vape, that kind of battery. And 18650s will still be used for various stuff, but everybody who is having the opportunity to switch is switching to 2700s because they're so much reliable. I mean, the very, very first reason is that they charge at 2 amps. I mean, there you go, 2 amps. So there's like 40% better energy density than 18650s. They charge at 2 amps for life. They're safer, have better amp limits. They have better nickel content. They're reducing the cobalt. There's less and less and less and less cobalt in these batteries. I tell you guys, read the science blogs. You will forget about 18650s forever. Like they are gone in my mind. Like just toilet water to me. If you look at the way where the science is headed and where all the research and development and all of the manufacturing is going, they're just not really focusing on 18650 batteries. I mean, they're doing it. They're trying to keep cranking out more. Don't get me wrong. They're not ignoring it. But virtually nobody is touting gains, densities. There's nobody yelling about huge improvements in 18650s. They're yelling about improvements in larger batteries. So we'll certainly always have batteries of every size, but the dominance of 18650s is going away, definitely. The only reason they're not dominant now because they're great. They're only dominant now because they're in power tools. So, you know, obviously there's no reason to use 18650s except for that's what we had. They weren't made for vaping. They weren't designed for it. They're just convenient. And so pretty soon it's much more convenient to use real batteries. I'm just glad that the safety is so much higher. These, because they charge more, they have higher amp limits, they have more nickel, less cobalt, they got better PTC rings, they got better construction inside, they have better, oh my God, the word for the stuff inside right now is completely gone to me. I'm having a brain fart. But I mean, these things are better in so many different ways that from a pure physical energy standpoint, you know, technologically speaking, 18650s can't compete in any way. There's just nothing to compete on except for niche products here and there for little stuff. And even that, I mean, I would rather use a 2400, to be honest. Like you guys, if you want an example of a great battery, a 2400 battery is a great battery. And I have 2 mods that have 2400s in them. This one's taken completely apart. But this is the Dovpo Ember. And so 2450, sorry. So 2450s are great. And this is a little tiny 50 watt mouth to lung mod. That's all that is. Little tiny, mouth to lung only. 2450. Welcome. Dovpo. Goodbye. These are great. So I'm hardly in the minority here, like 18 millimeter battery, and that is old. That is really old. That mod is like 4 years old or something. I mean, even then they knew better for small batteries. You just don't need 18 millimeter batteries. 18 mon. Well, the amp rating on that 2450 cannot be very high because it is only a little 50 watt mod, and I think it only goes down to 1 ohm, and even then it's not efficient. So at 0.25, that's probably just a 15 amp battery, I'm guessing. It's not super high amp, but it's got great battery life. It's like 1500 mAh or something, or 2000 mAh, which is pretty good. It's pretty fun. You should look at these, JT Mun. I mean, you can buy Dovpo Embers too if you want to just take these apart. I've got several of them. I got them on Fast Tech. But you can also buy the batteries. I don't know where it came from. This one isn't like a particularly stellar battery, but I love the size. I love my Ember. In fact, I can't find my Dovpo Ember. It normally sits right here on the desk. And you see that I had the one that's taken apart there. But where's my... Oh, there it is. Right there. There's my Dovpo Ember. And as you guys know, this is one of my favorite mods. Absolutely love this thing. It's my favorite mouth to lung mod because it's so teeny. Yum. So cool. Tiny only though. So what else am I talking about today? It's 9:18. How long have we been going here? Let me just get my live control room back up. Looks like we are at an hour. Okay, we got to go. So I love all you guys. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. I'm Eli Juicy Jones. Join me on my patio here in a few minutes on Instagram. We're going to go live and try that out on our new thing. And I love all you guys. You guys are great. Look at Chris Denton. He says that Pico's coming out too, and that's a really good little 21700 single too. And it's just like the Capo, and it's from Ely. So that's really cool. Great one. So love all you guys. You guys are the best. Let's vape out. Thanks to Heaven Gifts again. Thanks to you. Just trying to figure out which vape to use. I got so many here. Let's take the OBS Engine and get it back on the blade, because that's awesome. Engine blade. And that says 85 watts. Love all you guys. Thank you.